Hey guys, it's me. I'm back. I had a call. One of the subscribers to this channel got a hold of me. Jimmy, shout out to you. And Jimmy just goes, "Hey, we were wondering if you died." And I'm like, "Oh man, I better go on there and make an update video." It's been over 8 years. And thank you, Jimmy, for prompting me to do that. I had intended to update everybody who has watched my video or my journey in 2018, and I went on to YouTube, and I go, let me just update all these guys that have been watching the video and maybe got something out of it. And I went on here and I go, I do not remember the email address. I don't remember the login and stuff. So when I talked to Jimmy, it was July 2026. He had contacted me just a few days ago. I says, I got to go on there and figure this out. So I went on to Google and figured out how to recover the password and login and all that. So here I am in July 16th, 2026. And the last video I made was maybe early 2018. So it's been a while. I figured maybe some people are wondering if I'm still around and how my prostate cancer journey ended up to date. And so I'm here to kind of update you. I don't know if it'll be a long video, a short video. I'm just kind of winging it. As you can tell, I have some podcast gear. I got a podcast that I do, not related to prostate cancer, but another thing that I do on my own. So that's why I got the headphones. I can listen to stuff, play the music, and all that stuff. So I've come a long way since you guys first watched me piece those videos together, trying to get the information out there. It was super important for me to tell guys about prostate cancer, the screening, the PSA test, the biopsy, all that stuff, and the different options that you have available to you. I still have people contact me today in 2026, contact me and say, hey, either friends or people that have seen me on the videos, and they go, hey, I just got diagnosed with prostate cancer, and I wanted to know what your thoughts on it. And not that I'm an expert or I'm a medical expert, anything like that, but I have taken the time to kind of educate myself in a lot of these areas. So I wanted to update you guys. So first off, as you can tell, I'm still alive in 2026. And this whole video is to let you know about the good news, that everything's going well and all that, all these 8 years later. So I'll tell you a little bit about the journey. I was diagnosed with prostate cancer. I can't remember the Gleason score. It was pretty low. So it was pretty, caught it kind of early. And thank God for my doctor, my medical doctor, general practitioner, who had got me probably when I was 50. He goes, hey, you need to start doing PSA tests. So through the years, I started getting the PSA test yearly. And in September 2017, got a prostate infection. And then the PSA was kind of fluctuating a little bit. And they put me on Flomax. I don't know if any of you guys have had that before. But Flomax wasn't working for me for the prostate to shrink the prostate. I was having trouble with the urination and stuff like that. That can be kind of miserable if you've dealt with that. And then I was put on another medication, and for some reason I've been on it for years, and for some reason the doxycycline was the key to shrinking the prostate so I could go pee and stuff like that without having to feel like I had to pee every 5 minutes. But what happened in September 2017, even though the prostate infection had gone away, because that was really miserable with that prostate infection, even though it had gone away, the PSA test was elevating. So I went into a urologist. They said, let's do a biopsy. Did a biopsy, got diagnosed in September 2017 with prostate cancer. Went through all the testing. I think they did a CAT scan. They did they put a shot in, and they did the color contrast, I think it was, and then I did a bone scan. And then eventually, after messing around with my medical group, because I had an HMO at the time, wow, what a nightmare that was. Because make sure that your medical group is on board with what's going on, because they can jerk you around a little bit. So that was a big deal. Had the options to do all these treatments. I can't remember what they all were, but obviously the one was to remove the prostate, and the one that I chose was the radiation seeds. I thought that was better for me, and the side effects were minimal, and all of the procedures, they seem to have somewhat of the same side effects to a certain degree. They all affect you differently. But for me, the radiation seeds were what I chose, just based on my, what I thought at the time and the preference and things like that. It turns out that was a pretty good choice, a pretty good choice. And I'll take you into the post surgery lessons, is what I'm going to call them, just so I can give you an update. So I went in the early morning, um, and initially for the treatment, I had the option to do radiation. Oh, it's like a long time. The external radiation, where you go in and they shoot the beam or whatever through through the uh, through the skin, and then there's the seeds. And so the thing with the radiation, that it's external, is that they wanted me to come in for a bunch of weeks in a row. I think it was maybe 4 times, 5 times a week or something. Anyways, I was working full time, and I had no interest in going in every day to do the radiation treatment. I That just didn't sound something like I want to do. I was working full time, and to cut out a certain part of it would take a chunk out of the day, and I just didn't want to do that. So I opted for radiation seeds, because they put the seeds directly into the prostate, take care of business, and then I would be good to go, one and done. So I did that. The surgery, the day of the surgery, I went in. It was like regular outpatient surgery. I went in. Uh, they put an IV in my arm. They put me on a hospital bed. I was talking 1 minute. All of a sudden, lights went out. I was out. The next minute, the nurse is waking me up, going, "Hey, Ken, come on, gotta get up, gotta wake up, gotta wake up." And it was like that. Um, if I remember correctly, I feel like the surgery took maybe a couple hours or so. Don't quote me on any of this stuff, because I'm just going from memory, but I think I got it. I think I got it down pretty good to where I can give you good information. So then, obviously, got checked out, went home, laying in bed, kind of relaxing. Um, Eventually, it is a surgery, and so you're gonna have some discomfort. Um, the doctor gave me a prescription for a steroid for the discomfort and stuff like that. And I was taking the steroid. One question that I did get is that, did I have any problem with peeing, like the burning urination and stuff like that? And I don't remember that. I don't remember that. I'm gonna guess that probably maybe the first few times, a discomfort from the peeing, the stinging, that you get, but I don't remember it being something that was such a drag that it became something I remembered, that, oh my gosh, it was so bad. I don't think it was like that for me. So I think maybe the first few times I went pee, there was a stinging. It wasn't anything to be concerned about. One of the other things is that the discomfort did get a little bit, but it was from the surgery, and I was on the steroids. I thought the steroids were what was supposed to keep the inflammation down and things like that. The thing about the steroids, man, is they do tend to work. I had to get a little extension after the pills ran out. I mean, I was on them for maybe a couple of weeks or something like that, and it was a little bit uncomfortable. I was able to get up and walk around and things, but it was a little uncomfortable. So I was on the steroids for a little bit, maybe a couple of weeks or so. The thing about the steroids that I will tell you is that, man, they up your appetite. I was eating everything in the refrigerator. There was I would eat, and then immediately after I'd go back to the refrigerator. I was so hungry, man. Those steroids make you hungry. The other thing about the steroids is they mess up your voice. You get really, really raspy. It's just it's just a thing. And I Googled it and I go, what's up with this? Because all of a sudden my voice was like, yeah, yeah, it was like that. It was literally, my voice had changed to such a degree, but it turns out that that's a side effect of the steroids, and you're gonna get a raspy voice. It happens, and then within probably, I'd say, one or maybe 2 weeks, it clears up pretty good. But don't be surprised if you're on steroids and you get that raspy voice. Um, the other thing that this is a mistake that I made that I want to share with you guys so you don't do it yourself. I figured that I'd be laid up for a few days, maybe a week or something like that. And then I was laying around and I go, this isn't terrible, and I'm going to go back to work. So after 2 weeks, I went back to work. Wow, that was a mistake because just laying around in bed, that's like watching TV, doing whatever, laying in the living room, just kind of lounging around, just trying to heal up. But the thing is that it's not necessarily the discomfort from the surgery, it's the exhaustion that you get from the radiation seeds. I would highly recommend, if you can, don't make the mistake that I did and go back to work after a couple weeks, or try to resume your regular activities after a couple weeks. Man, if I had known better, I would have been off work for at least a month. I did not know that the subsiding discomfort from the surgery, that would subside. And then most people go, oh, I'm feeling pretty good because the discomfort's gone. But what's happening is this, the radiation seeds are working in your body. I'm a dummy. I didn't even think of that. So and I had to commute a ways, to get to work every day and back, and then be at work and stuff. And man, I was so exhausted. It wasn't that I wasn't feeling well. It was that, man, my body just wasn't ready to go back to work. So I would say to you, if you have the luxury of having sick time or whatever, you can work from home or whatever, just do that. In order to let your body start healing and getting used to the radiation, or what the effects are from the radiation. So don't do that. Don't be like me and think you're Superman and you're just going to go back to regular activity, because it's different. It's not like your body's healing up from getting cut from surgery or something like that. This is the radiation that's actively being released in your body. So fast forward to 2019. I'm doing pretty good. I mean, I'm doing really well, and PSA tests are coming back pretty good. So then, somewhere around, I want to say summerish, 2019, late summer. So I'm working at my desk. I was working on a project. It was pretty intensive, and I was sitting at my desk a lot. Um, and then my PSA had elevated, and so the fast, just to make the story short, what happened was, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, my PSA is elevated. The doctor goes, oh, we don't know, maybe the cancer has come back or whatever, because it wasn't that long, it was just a year or so. So the PSA goes up, and it turns out that I had been sitting on my in my chair in my office so many days, so many hours in a row, it gave me a prostate infection. So what I would suggest to everybody is be mindful that you're I don't know what it is. The prostate, does it take a long time to heal? You can't be sitting on it for a long. Is it getting extra swollen and now it's all messed up so that you can't sit? So, anyways, I got put on antibiotics, had to make follow-ups, had to get tests again, had to get another bone scan and make sure. And then they did that scope down your down into the prostate at the urologist's office, and turns out, man, that was a false alarm. Went back and got my PSA test done. It went back to 2 or whatever because it had gone up to 5 or something like that with the infection, with the prostate infection. So what I would suggest you do for a long time is be very kind to your prostate. Be very kind. Don't be sitting on it for a long time. Even this was this was kind of summerish, 2019, and I had gotten the seeds in January 2018. And so apparently my prostate was still not unswollen or whatever. Anyways, that's what happened to me. I'm not saying it's going to happen to everybody, but I'm just saying be mindful that your prostate may take a little bit to heal up. And that's what happened to me. So I had a little bit of a scare. But through this time, for the first 5 years, I had been taking PSA tests every 6 months. And I don't know if you're like me, but the prostate cancer diagnosis kind of like made me obviously uneasy. I didn't like going to doctors very much because when I went to the doctor one time, I got this prostate cancer diagnosis. And so every 6 months, I would go and get a PSA test. And man, every 6 months, I would be on pins and needles because I'm waiting for the test to come out to make sure that the PSA numbers are going good. And this maybe that's just me. I don't know if you're like that where you would have this thing happen and then over time having to go get the test every 6 months. So there could be a nervousness. You may be different than me, but I would just kind of be, for that one day. I think the way they did it out where I'm at is they would take the test and I could get the results the same day, definitely the next day, but a lot of times the same day. So I'd go in maybe early, and eventually I'd get this email saying, "Hey, you have test results," and I'd go in and then I'd look at the test results and go, "Whoa, that's pretty good." And so over the years, I was doing that every 6 months. So if you know, I don't know how to better word it, but you may be like me, you may not be like me, and I get nervous as those things. Because of all the tests that were going on before treatment and all the PSA tests and things, it just kind of made me a little jittery, and that's about it for me. But like I say, that's just me. You may be super chill. You may go, "Hey, I got to get these results back and everything." And so I had done that for the first 5 years. I was going in every 6 months. After 5 years, the doctor was saying, "Hey, nah, we could switch it to every year now." And I swear by the PSA test. I love them. There's some in the medical community saying, "Hey, whether you need to get one every year or not, that's personal. That's between you and your doctor and stuff." But I'm a proponent of getting the PSA test done um, every year as you age. Also, I um, I have been on doxycycline, which shrinks the prostate and all that. So let me just fast forward you. I took the test every 6 months, but now I'm up to a year. I don't have to take a test except for once a year, which is great. Which is great. Slowly over the years, the PSA numbers have been going down, 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 down consecutively every 6 months, every year. They've been going down. And so, listen, watch this. My most recent PSA test came out 0.18, 0.18 with the seeds. And that is amazing to me. I was told that there's a tiny nth of a percent that would cause me problems. With that kind of PSA, I'm pretty much healed. I don't think there's any problem at all. And so I'm really happy to report that to you guys. Um, some folks, have asked about sexual function. That's fine. You just have to work around any kind of issues. But if you get radiation seeds or something, I think with all treatments, you're gonna have some kind of sexual function problems and things, but you have to be ahead of it and you have to know that that could be an issue. But there are remedies for that too. So I don't think that that's the biggest deal. With the radiation seeds, it didn't affect me so much, so I'm really happy to report that. So the bottom line is that as the time goes by, also, I remember when I first started taking the doxycycline, and even after the surgery, if I missed one pill at night for the doxycycline for the prostate enlargement, I would know the next day I forgot to take that pill. You could tell that the prostate was swollen a little bit, and there was problems. You had to go pee, and there was a little bit of discomfort. So I knew. Lately, now this is 8 years into it now. Lately, I can miss a dose of the doxycycline, and I don't even know it the next day. It seems like my prostate seems to be acting a lot nicer, and it maybe the doctor said maybe the surgery and all that may have swollen. I mean, may have shrunk the prostate a bit. So it's almost like there's a lot of advantages to it. I can sit a lot longer, and I have prostate discomfort. I haven't gotten a prostate infection for years. And so is that because of the radiation seeds? They shrunk the prostate. I don't have any problems. So my PSA is down. Prostate's acting nice to me. I'm healed, and I fully am big proponent of radiation seeds compared to the other options that you have. That's just me. I'm not a medical expert. I don't give medical advice. This is my personal opinion based on my experience. So what I would say to you, just based on that experience as well, is that check all the options. When you go to the doctor, if they say, okay, you have prostate cancer, let's get it treated. These are your options. Find out what each option is, what the side effects could be, and also the potential reoccurrence of the prostate cancer based on those treatments, because you want to go into treatment fully acknowledging everything about every treatment and the one that you pick, in order to know that you're comfortable with it. If something kind of makes you feel uncomfortable, then maybe that's not the treatment for you. But for me, I'm telling you guys, it's just amazing. I'm totally healed, and I'm excited about that. And everything's going well. If you have any questions, put them in the comments, and I'm happy to answer them. I promise you guys, I got access to this account again, and so I'll be back. I'll look for your comments, and if you want to get a hold of me, we'll figure that out one way or another. I hope all the best for you guys. And if anybody is newly diagnosed, or you have stories to tell, put them in the comments. Let people know what all the options are and what your experiences are and stuff like that. But yeah, guys, super happy. I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to give you an update, let you know. And Jimmy, man, thanks for the call, brother. Thanks for the call. Now I can let people know that, hey, I'm still here. All right, you guys. Thanks a lot.